What? Hendane sings, not safe for work audio? You may know this man. He's known as the Hendane yaoi guy. I heard he sings funny songs, so...
Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a tasty dish you set before the king?
Hey, that wasn't a funny song. I don't get it. What?
I have bought a lot of stuff at your booth before.
Let's try that again.
B-U-T-T-S-E-X, that is how you spell butt sex.
And more.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Let's watch two men masturbate.
And even more.
How much for that bishy in the window? The one
What the fuck?
with the super tight butt. How much for that bishy in the window? I've heard he's a really big slut.
Anime Vice! No! No! No, you did not name yourself after the Vice News Network. Oh my god. Chat, I'm gonna hit you guys with a controversial take that upset many people before, and I'm gonna say it again. I think conventions should have all not safe for work content pushed behind closed doors. So if you want stuff like homosexual pornography, I think it should be on like its own restricted area. I think having like yaoi doujinshi booths and naked lady statues and really any of that kind of stuff just like openly available is really gross. I don't like it. What about lewd cosplays? I don't know how I haven't thought about the nuances of the lewd cosplay stuff. I know I go thinking this is a controversial take. Don't kids go to these cons? They do, which is why I say it with like, I feel like with lewd cosplays, if it's more scandalous than a bathing suit, it's too far, right? For public areas. I feel like if you want to have like the convention, like the dealer's hall, like split in two, and one side is R18, and that's where you have like the very, very, very scantily clad women. Like I think that would be fine if it's over there and like the average person can't see it without seeking it out. Mr. Thank you. They do that in JP stores, to be honest. It's just good policy. To all, thank you. From my friend, this is true. Separating it off actually substantially increases the sales because the psychology of getting in pushes people to buy. Oh, it's always bothered me. It's always really, really bothered me, like walking around conventions, seeing people holding up porn, and then like stuff like anime figures. I understand, like, if somebody purchases something, they're going to be walking around with it, right? But I think it should be covered up. I don't think people should be allowed to walk around with, like, openly lewd contraband. It's just, I don't know. It grosses me out. I don't like it when I go into gas stations and see, like, booby shot glasses either, though, so... I know I'm a bit of a Puritan, I guess. Ignore it. If you don't like the culture, then just don't go. Simple. I feel like you're really stupid and you shouldn't be on my channel. Please go away. Maybe kill yourself. I don't know. I don't care what you do. You're in the wrong place. Not all anime is porn. You're just a degenerate. You're a really porn-addicted degenerate who assumes that all of anime fandom culture boils down to pornography. I say this as somebody who enjoys the gooner shit like Azure Lane, alright? I don't dislike it. It's just I don't like seeing it when I don't want to see it. I feel like sexual content like that, if you are in a public space, you should not be exposed to it. It's like here's an example. If you went around flashing people, right, including children, I think that's about the same thing as selling doujinshi uncovered for people to look at. I was really put off last year at Offkai. One of the doors you walk through, somebody was selling uncensored pornography, which I don't know if that was necessarily their fault because I saw some of their stuff had covers on it. So it might have been just that like people kept taking off like their sticky notes or something and they just couldn't keep up with putting them back on. But it was pretty gross. I think there should be a separate area. You know, like conventions do like night markets and stuff. I think there should just be like part of the convention that's just dedicated to that kind of stuff. Gooner shit was funny but awkward. Agree that it should be in its own section unless the con is 18 plus. Yeah, if the con's 18 plus, it doesn't matter, right? But I don't know. Daily basis, thank you. There's a time and place for public. Time and place and public venues aren't the place. I feel like there is a place for it at anime cons. It's just not where it is now. I don't understand why there's not a separation there. Easiest and most based fix is banning minors. I'm split. On one hand, I don't feel like conventions are safe for children as they are now. Part of the problem being that conventions are usually built into hotels. So by default, I feel like it's just kind of a very dangerous place for a child to be. Even if like attended, right? It's still like you're in these massive groups of people walking around hotel convention centers where like you can easily get lost in the crowd, and I don't know. And then when you go into like the dealer's hall, there being like the pornography and stuff, it's just, I don't know. I don't think conventions are safe for children right now. I also don't think it helps that conventions seem to have an issue with inviting people back or being okay with people who are predatory as long as they're famous. That's another, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird that cancel culture has like a reason for existing in the convention space and yet doesn't get utilized there, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. It's, do you guys ever just like look at a guest list and you're like, oh, that person's like actually convicted? Like they've got actual crimes under their belt, like proven in a court of law, but they're like a guest at a convention and you're like, easy tech, thank you. We're so base for these takes, amen. I don't know, man. Ones are weird. It's utilized one-sided. Yeah, cancel culture isn't about attacking bad people. I agree. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a whiny bitch when I talk about this kind of thing, but it also feels like a very serious, unaddressed problem. And whenever it is addressed, it kind of just gets swept under the rug, it feels like. I feel like conventions are in dire need of some sort of reform, and people aren't interested in doing that kind of reform. It's like whenever somebody's like, I'm gonna do a convention, but I'm gonna make it better because this other one sucks. It's like they just end up making it like political, or it's just like a fetish event, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, our more gooner. Yeah, exactly. Like they make it more gooner, and you're like, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. I almost wish there'd be more like 18 plus conventions, just so it becomes normalized that there is a difference between 18 plus and normal conventions. Like you. It's kind of crazy how nothing is safe for kids or families anymore. We just shifted to adults only for many things. Disney adults are the clients now. Yeah, I do think anime conventions should be a safe place for children, because I think it's really like children are the future, right? I think it's cool if they're into anime, even if they're into dog shit like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. You know, I'm happy for them. Let them like their cringe shit. They're gonna grow up. Maybe they'll get better taste. Maybe they'll like the cringe shit. I don't know, but I'm happy for him. Don't be smart, thank you. I went to a con and saw a grown famous man call a 14-year-old boy on stage and kiss him on the lips. Nothing was said. Yeah. Pekora, thank you. Your VTuber is the reason people go to these cons. Your opinion and safety is paramount. Well, I'm not a child, so I'm safe.
What I find most strange, perhaps, is that a lot of people like talking about this without ever having felt the power holding one in your hands. So where does the saga begin? Roughly in 2002, there was a gentleman who decided that as a joke, he was going to take this cheap wooden craft paddle, scroll yaoi on it, and he gave it as a gag gift to one of the guys at Hendane. That was
the origin of all this? It was just a shit post? Upright Snake, thank you. I'm really tired of the family-friendly gooner dichotomy all the time. 0 or 100 all the time, no between. Why can't we be normal for 5 minutes? What do you mean? Background noise, thank you. Going back to the basics of having a separate room for all that stuff solves this problem? It does. I think it does have to be 0 or 100 when it comes to conventions, because children are walking around and there's no block button in real life. You can't just like be a child and have pornography in front of you and just like choose not to see it. Like, they're children, and don't bring children. Well, how about people just make 18 plus conventions or make extra rooms that are separated for the 18 plus content? Why do you have to have 18 plus content in every space? What if we have some spaces that are family friendly? 0% gooner. I think that's cool. I think that would be, you know what they could do is they could like line out the convention space with like tape, and it's like a straight line going through, and you got like the green, the orange, and the red. And orange is like there's like a mix of stuff. Red is like it's 100% 18 plus stuff. We got like the doujinshi booths and stuff. The orange would just be like the regular like mixed stuff, and then the green would be like the 100% safe for work. Like you got like the plushie booths. You got like the wholesome acrylic charms that are not of naked ladies. You got like, yeah, kids, teens, adults. Exactly. I think that'd be really cool, man. That'd be really cool.
Kind of like a mascot of sorts that they hunt up for a year or two. And then someone realized, you know what? We could market this shit and charge $35.
Oh, I'll give you a realistic answer because kids aren't even accounted for. They're not the target audience and not even calculated. They're not money makers. That's sad. That's fucking sad, man. Magiholic, thank you. We should just take the children and move them somewhere else. Comfort saying thank you. I'm agreeing with you, you dumb rabbit. Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. Because I understand like being tired of people complaining about like, gooner video games or whatever. But I think with conventions, this kind of conversation actually matters. You know, when people are complaining that shit like Nikkei exists, it's like, then just don't fucking play it, dude. Don't play Nikkei. Block the word Nikkei on Twitter so you don't have to see that shit. But in real life, there's no option for that. Monica, thank you. The problem with anything involving restraint is the most shameless are usually the loudest, and reasonability is treated like a bad thing. That's true.
Dollars for it, and behold, the very first yaoi paddle form was born. Debuting in 2004 at big cons like Anime Expo and Otakon, the original
Just don't go to the con then. Bro, please leave my channel. Please never come back. You're too stupid to have a conversation with. Go away.
yaoi paddle looked a little bit different from the ones that I have. You get the feeling that they didn't really have mass production in mind.
I like your profile picture, but you're really stupid and I don't like you.
Started out with this idea. But the paddle was a hit and quickly became embedded in the con culture. Even if you yourself didn't want one, you saw a bunch of people having the time of their life with that paddle, and you know what? That was worth $35 to $40 some dollars.
That's a lot of fucking money for a paddle. A lot of fucking money for a gag gift.
Depending on the year and the con. Yeah, on second thought, don't even ask me how much I paid for these. These became super popular in both the cosplay scene and in the fandom in general. But of course, cosplayers in particular liked having one of these along as kind of like a meta joke, I guess is what you would call it. And swatting parties were a frequent fixture of the fountain area in the Otakon lobby in the first few years that I went there.
Problem is what's the line? Some people don't even want to say swimsuits. I would say swimsuits are about the line, right? I would say like if you got like people in swimsuits, you're probably going to be in like the orange zone, maybe. Could be in the green zone. Depends on like how titillating the image is meant to be, right? If you got like here, and like exceptions happen, and if you have like one piece like this one, you know, in your otherwise very clean setup, it's like, okay, well maybe just like put a sticky note over it or whatever. But like this is obviously this one is very obviously more in the red, at least definitely in the orange. Right? But probably in the red. But what's like another one? Can I find one that's not lewd? Can I find just like a cute swimsuit anime? Rip VOD. VOD is so dead, dude. Like this one, I would say this one is still probably in the orange, but maybe could pass in the green. Probably fine in the green. It is borderline orange. But like, Sarah, thank you. Having actual 18+ spaces is beneficial for the adults too. Even if it's not sex stuff, sometimes I want to look at anime stuff with without kids running around. True. Thank you. I stopped going to Dragon Con for reasons like this. It's gotten very degenerate. It's like, I want to be 100% clear. I'm fine with whatever degenerate shit people want to get up to, okay? Just put it in an 18+ space. Even Spencer's has managed to do this. Barely, but they managed to do it.
Don't even get me started on the gravitation cosplayers. Really, paddles were a perfect commercial exploitation of the high-energy, loose kind of scene that was conventions in the late 90s and the early 2000s. You had a lot of barely supervised teenagers and young adults just running around all weekend, hopped up on Jolt, Red Bull, and high-sugar snacks. Woo! And while I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest that this aspect of the paddles culture was a bit exaggerated, the plain fact of the matter is that in that kind of environment, eventually people just started kind of going around and smacking butts with or without obtaining prior consent.
That's so fucked up. Sure, just say thank you. I want an 18+ con that still has not safe for work segregated. That'd be cool. I want to start thank you. Another angle, I feel like if you saw a cosplayer wearing a swimsuit, that would definitely be a bit much for a regular mixed audience con. 18+ only. I don't know. I feel like with cosplay, it's like swimsuits definitely are pushing it, but people can go to a beach and see somebody in a swimsuit, right? I think it's I think it's okay. That's because of gaming. Thank you. Spencer's literally gatekept kids from entering. Anything you Pippa, your adult content standards are based on American levels. You can look at bare nips and R15 manga/anime. Man has this stuff figured out way clearer than we do. Okay, well, I'm talking about anime conventions, and also I don't know if like Japan's standards for these things are really going to apply here, or even that they necessarily should. You know, I love Japan, but I like how our age rating system works. I don't think children should be exposed to naked body parts. Even at 15, I think 18, that's go crazy. You know, inevitably kids are going to get access to that stuff anyways, but should we facilitate it? I personally, I don't think so. DJ Parajoy, thank you. Hosted a cosplay event and ended up handcuffed on my knees. It was a different time. What the fuck?
It was a trope for a long time. Half the fun of getting...
Why is violence okay? I don't think violence is okay. I think America is really weird how you can get away with showing really gory violence to children and it's fine. I think that's part of, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably gonna give me like a lot of shit, but I think that's part of why like some people grow up so detached and kind of fucked up, is because they get really normalized to violence and really normalized to like blood and guts. And it's like I don't think like video games cause violence or anything. I just think that like being exposed to that kind of media to some extent, I think it's traumatizing. I don't think kids are like meant to see somebody get their skull bashed in The Last of Us 2, for example, shit like that, which I think that's a rated M game, so I don't know if that really counts. But it's like I think there should be a bit more of a, pretty sure that's M. Okay, well that's good. That's good. As if ratings work. Well, they don't work, but they're at least something, right? I would rather have something, and some parents look at something that's like rated M and be like, oh, okay, never mind. No, you can't have this. Versus everything just be labelless and it's anyone's guess what anything is. Thank you. Everyone thinks they know what you think, Pippa. Actually, negative, thank you. There's a fundamental difference between depravity and private versus public. I don't care that you shower nude. Please wear clothing in public. Wait, you don't shower nude? What do you consider a kid, to make it clear? Under 10? I think in convention spaces, under 18. Conventions already put like a little minor tag on people who are under 18's like convention badge. So I think that's like perfect, you know, like at least at a convention. Under 18, no, you can't go over there. Ask for a darned ID. Like, I know, like people will pull like this gotcha of like, well, but kids will just sneak over there anyways. And it's like, wait, does that mean we should let every kid go in there? It doesn't matter if some kids sneak in. Kick their asses out. Mr. Snowman, thank you. I don't think any sane person would see that as a controversial take. I've gotten so much shit for it in the past. I'm glad that chat today is very chill and very open to these ideas. Because I swear to God, I said this same exact thing like 2 years ago, and so many people were freaking out. A bad thing will happen, so let it happen more. And no need to just give up and make it easier for them. People will break the law anyway, so let's just not have any laws. What if a kid looks like an adult? Mandatory ID checks? It says on your badge whether or not you're a minor. If somebody slips through and is a minor but looks like an adult, then I think when somebody sees that their badge says minor on it, they should get kicked out. It's that simple. And yeah, they already do ID checks for 18 plus events. It was 1 year ago. Oh, okay. Welcome by, thank you. You have conditioned them to expect hot takes. True. Airplane is missionary, thank you. Culture war was raging harder 2 years ago, Pippa. Is that what it was? Owner stuff shouldn't be peddled to kids no matter what, to be honest. To do nothing about it is just ignorant at best, or just bad faith arguments at worst. I know at off-kai you need an armband for stuff. Dude, at round 1, they make you wear a little wristband. At round 1, after it's like 11 o'clock or whatever, they put a fucking wristband of shame telling everyone that you're old and allowed to consume alcohol. Binary Ghost, thank you. Normally I'd play devil's advocate, but I can't think of a way to argue that kids shouldn't be exposed to adult content that doesn't sound bad. Some places have 18 plus scan-in lanyards. Ooh, that'd be cool. I'm glad people are seeing things my way now. It's unfortunate what it took to get here, but I'm glad. Beauty Man, thank you. The problem is people are worried about censorship, but 18 plus should be its own place where it's harder for kids to get to, and I am a bit of a gooner. Like, censorship is bad, but this might actually piss people off. Okay, I think it's better to have censorship if it means protecting children in this instance, all right? I would much rather a convention say, okay, no 18 plus content at all, instead of there being no countermeasures. That's not censorship. I mean, it kind of is. Okay, everyone's agreeing. I have no hot takes.
Growing past a certain point.
I have no hot takes. My opinions are just normal now. Binary Ghost, thank you. A yaoi pedal killed my father.
People started coming in. Once just a few too.
And Blizz, thank you. The logical fallacy is the misnomer. Exceptions does not make the rule. Does not make the rules not apply. Because some bad things happen doesn't mean we shouldn't do it.
Many people were annoyed by the guy in the dealer's hall screaming, yaoi! Things started to change. Paddles, and yaoi paddles in particular, started being seen as a facilitator of aggressive behavior rather than something that people misused. And so a lot of big conventions...
I think because they are a facilitator of violent behavior. Chat, I'm gonna say in this specific instance, guns do kill people. In this specific instance, I think the yaoi paddles do cause violence. I think teenagers just cannot be trusted, and they're gonna beat the shit out of people with the piece of wood that says yaoi on it, because their dumb little brains just can't help themselves. Echo noise, thank you. Gotta have some standards. Show me your butthole, thank you. It's an anime convention, not a hentai convention. True. Crimson Lion, thank you. Atreides Schmatreides, thank you. The two Poppy, thank you. I agree. But what would you say about Sheena's OG outfit? It's not intentionally sexual, but it's very revealing. I would say Sheena's outfit goes over the orange line. Well, depending on what she's doing, I guess. Like, if it could pass for a swimsuit in a more innocent way, like, I think it's fine, right? But if she's, like, blushing or whatever, then that's definitely the orange. Blushing is too lewd. I mean, potentially, yeah. Like, think about the connotations that usually come with blushing art. Outfit plus pose/demeanor matters. People will really be like, she's eating a hot dog and she's got ketchup all over her face or mustard all over her face and she's blushing and she's cross-eyed and she's holding up a peace sign with her other hand. How is that lewd? Labao, you think that's not safe for work? But these are all like normal things you would do on the 4th of July. And it's like, are you stupid? Are you? You have to be trolling me. It has to be debate. It has to be bait.
Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.